Really down first, please.
What's up guys, it's your girl Hayley and we are here with Trending All Day and Misfits to talk to the one and only Moisés Arias. Thank you so much for having me. This is unbelievable.
Thank you guys for being here.
So we got to start at the very beginning. I need to know how you got this Instagram handle, 490TX.
Well, I guess I wanted something simple, something quick in the, I don't know, the URL. And I shoot on 400 tri-X. All this is shot on film. And 49 is a lucky number brought down by, I don't know, generations before me to my brother and I shared it with Jaden and Willow, and we're really into numerology, and I was like, hey, 49 fits in there, 490 TX.
This is my brother. Wow. His name is 490TX, and his name is Moises. It goes by 490TX. He's been documenting just our day-to-day experiences for years now, and for him to actually come together and curate a story the way he did is just super inspiring, and just to see him progress and move forward has been incredible.
And now you were just telling me right before we shot a little bit about the triangles. How did you come up with the triangle logo?
It started as 3 triangles. I mean, it's a sister brand of Misfits, which is also the 3 of us. And I just wanted to give it a little something extra, something simple but unique, iconic in a sense. And I turned the center one upside down. Oh, pretty simple.
Now, so a little secret, I know you originally from this little movie called Kings of Summer. Now talk to me about how you went from Kings of Summer to now us sitting here with all your amazing artwork on the wall.
What's very funny is that was a very key moment in this. There was an amazing cinematographer. Well, Jordan Roberts directed it, and you collaborated with Ross Rigi. I think that's how you pronounce his name. But he was shooting not only the film, but taking stills on set. And I was very intrigued by it. I was studying cinema from really the golden age, which is 1920 to 1950. And it speaks on how sound came in, and a lot of people, a lot of directors didn't know how to work with the sound. It kind of messed up their imagery. And I was like, that's an interesting concept. It's all about the image. And I kind of want to tell stories in the future, and it starts with knowing how to photograph every situation. That's why I carry that camera.
Wow, that's amazing. And so we were talking about the title of this gallery, Teens. Can you explain to everybody what that means?
Well, the images here are from 2012 to 2018. What's printed on the wall is from, the oldest one is 2014, which is a Hailey Baldwin, Hailey Bieber. And yeah, the idea is it's the teen years of the 21st century, and it just so happens that many of these people were teenagers when I was shooting.
Now talk to me a little bit about the difference between the black and white photos and the color photos. What do those represent, and why are they different in this gallery?
Well, I sort of use black and white film to forcefully shoot black and white, so I can't save it. If something was enticing as a color, I can't really bring it out unless it's in post and looks strange, kind of like that Jaden CTV2 piece. But it brings about a whole different feeling. When I get them back, it's like a different world. It's like this magic that's sort of lost in our generation. Yes, you can do it digitally, but if you look closely at these images, they look very different. They look sort of aged, but at the same time, timeless in a sense, and very now, because they're moments that weren't really orchestrated. They're just happening. And, you know, if you educate yourself technically, you can capture them correctly. I've messed up a lot. Don't get me wrong.
We all gonna fail to succeed, right?
Yes, correct.
Now this is your first gallery, right?
I did an exposition at Art Basel in Miami last year with 2020, and that was a very interesting experience because craziness goes on during Basel. So I wanted something in my home in Los Angeles, in my city. And I did that all by hand. I wanted to simplify it in a sense. And this was all the smaller pieces I printed, and I outsourced the bigger ones.
Okay, great. And this is unbelievable. Where were you guys?
Thank you. This is at Kylie and Kendall's mom's house. It's at Kris Jenner's house.
Okay.
This was a couple of years ago. I believe I was 18, maybe 19. That means she was 16, 17. Of the most beautiful images I've captured.
Yeah, I mean, so much
today.
emotion. Yeah.
Agreed. Very lucky.
Iconic. Yeah.
I don't know how I got that moment, no lie.
I mean, iconic.
People have asked me what is my favorite image, and it's very difficult to answer that question, but I think that this will forever stay in my mind, it being the first Coachella we went to. He's looking on stage, and it also became his album cover for the app,
Yep.
the CTV2 app. Jaden Experience, inspired by Jimi Hendrix Experience. You know, the whole
So
name.
cool. He like looks so young too.
Yes, started the dreads.
Yeah, early on.
Yep. This is something I'd like to show. This is at Virgil Murakami, at Abelo Murakami,
Yeah.
excuse me. Him walking in and the commotion and the respect of this man coming into his show with his, what is that, paperclip necklace?
Wow. This is so dope. What were they getting ready for?
This was Oscar night.
Oh, no big deal.
No big deal. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they were going to an after party.
Yeah. Jeez. I love this too because it's just like such true friendship.
Yeah, right. I love it as well.
This almost like reminds me of like Audrey Hepburn.
Wow,
Like,
I appreciate that. That's
Such a
strangely enough and comedically enough at the, you know, the cutaways on Hannah Montana?
yes.
At the Hannah Montana house.
Get out of here.
Yes.
Which, hello, makes sense.
Very trippy for me.
Wow. Her eyes in this are crazy.
Incredible. That's in Malibu. That's a second of her in awe. I believe she was looking at the giraffe, or maybe, I forget what it was, but a few color moments do I get with this much authenticity.
Right. And so since, like you said, it is in your home,
Mm-hmm.
what has it been like to have your people come through and see your work too after all this time?
Nothing like it. Honestly, it created a vibe. Tonight we have a performance in here. I'm gonna see how that goes, but opening night was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Absolutely unbelievable. From seeing people holding the book, it's my dream in a sense to be able to share something physically, something tangible, because the internet, if anything catastrophic happens, is gone.
When I say 490, y'all say TX. 490? TX. 490? TX. When I say 490, y'all say TX. 490? TX. 490? TX. Shout out Maury.
It's just amazing to see someone who's so passionate about something that you discover on your own accord and later grows into something, you know, very expansive. And to see him sharing it with the world, because he has a really dope quote. He says that art is essentially, it's not art until you share it, you know, it's just creativity. And once you get other people involved and once you share the vision, it becomes art. So I feel like right now this is an art statement that he's making. And for my brother and for me to see that inspires me, inspires the whole group, I think.
Not to mention be involved too, to do it together.
Be
is so
involved,
special.
yeah, absolutely.
I know you talked a little bit about misfits, Jaden and Willow. What does it feel like to be a misfit? And talk to me a little bit about that process.
I think we all are, not the people you just named, you and me, everyone in this room. And I think this generation specifically, Misfits No Eyes is how we came up with our logo, and it essentially is that. We're together, we're embracing our differences, and we're all creative, and let's bring it together to sort of create something special, something that represents our generation.
What it means for me to be a misfit essentially is just a unique individual, you know, putting out my own frequency, standing for what I believe in essentially, and really just a movement of the moment, you know, just based on what I'm feeling and whatever intuitive insights I receive, and making a change and connecting with people.
And what's one piece of advice you'd give to younger kids or people trying to work in this industry?
Do it. I've messed up a lot. You know, in terms of acting, there's nothing more difficult than getting in front of somebody and trying to do their work justice. And in terms of any other creativity, it's about putting the hours in. I think I've done more than 10,000 hours photographing and reading and editing and now printing, which is a completely different medium and art in itself.
And how did you learn how to do that? Did you self-taught? Did you take classes?
No, you know, I was always very observant on sets, and I've gotten a chance to work with incredible people. The film you named, Kings of Summer, was the first time I got to really see artists at work. We had very little money and very little time, I think we did it in 22 days. And you know, that opened my eyes to what can be done if time's put in, if effort's put in, if the actors are chosen correctly, the photography is correct, and the single leader that's telling us all what to do. And in terms of how this came about, it's just, yes, I read a lot. I don't do so much now, which is stressful. I really would. It completely changes your way of thinking and even being able to write. But yeah, I guess it's just educating yourself and then putting it into practice.
Yeah, that's great advice. And speaking of books, we actually have a few of yours with us.
Yes.
And tell everyone how they can get this if they're not in LA right now.
Yeah, if they're not in LA, the website 490tx.com has them on pre-order right now. We're pretty close to selling out, so
get them now.
Hopefully we re-up very soon. And yeah, it's been a work this whole year, been a work of many years for the content inside, but I'm very happy with how people are responding and how it looks, actually, how it feels.
Huge congrats, and yeah, I mean, it looks and feels amazing. So you guys be sure to go grab yours before they sell out. We will be sure to link in the description below so you guys can find the link to grab yours. Thank you so much for chatting with me, and can you tell everybody where they can follow you?
490tx.
Awesome. All right, you guys, that's it. We got a show to catch. He's got a lot of people to meet. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Bye.
In Medellin, I need a finca and a sexy mamacita. You look good in those Adidas. Tell the paparazzi, please stop. And we ain't even packing heaters. Apple bomb like Bonita. Money needs you if you need us. She whisper poppy like a secret. Oh, these whack jokers always lying well. Got their balls for 'em, that's my clientele. Man, I got a secret I would never tell. Last one that did, saw him die in jail. But I'm by the pool, living hella well. Got side coming and they well aware. Then I'm on the way straight to Delaware. Man, you always win, you should try and fail. Misfits.